Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Xavier McLean, aka Zay McLean, aka Three Truly, and I'm back. And this is another episode of Truly Talks. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Xavier McLean, aka Zay McLean, aka Three Truly, and today we have two very special guests, two shooters, because there's no other position in FGCU women's basketball. One of the most winningest programs in the country. We have Casey Santoro and Maddie Antenucci today. I'm gonna just start off by allowing them to introduce themselves. Tell us where you're from. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got here a little bit. Start with Maddie.
Hey guys, my name is Maddie Antenucci and I am a fifth year on the FGCU women's basketball team. I've been here all 5 years and I am originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. I was recruited out of high school to FGCU and it's just been a wonderful experience and I'm excited to be on this podcast today.
Nice.
Hello, I'm Casey Santoro. This is my second year here, but I am a fifth year, and my first 3 years were at Kent State in Ohio. I'm from Bellevue, Ohio, and yeah, I'm also very excited to be on this podcast with Mr. Zay.
Yeah. Okay, so both of you guys being, from Ohio, obviously you guys share that. Just kind of speak about, that Ohio experience, kind of what the lifestyle is like. I'm sure you may be a little bit different. You're from, Cincinnati, and you're from wherever that is.
Bellevue.
I'm just joking. Bellevue. But yeah, just speak about how your family life was, what the dynamic was, just being around, you guys is Atlanta.
Okay, well, specifically where I'm from is like a small farm town. Not like a lot of people, very tight-knit community, and like sports is like that's what you live for if you go to my town or go to my high school. So I have two sisters, one brother. They're all athletes. My brother played D2 football, and then my older sister played basketball at Bowling Green and Ohio State, and then my little sister played D2, and she's finishing her last year at Canisius, which is now D1. So it's a little bit about me and my family.
My family was not as athletic as your family. Obviously, being from Ohio and growing up in high school, like sports were everything, especially basketball and football are really big. So I was just kind of born into it. Started off in camps when I was younger, and my dad actually played hockey in college, and then my brother wrestled, and my sister played field hockey. So basketball isn't really in our blood,
Right.
but my parents definitely instilled a lot of qualities in me that have shown on the basketball court and also off the court. So it's been a part of my life for a while.
Right. So, who got you guys into basketball? Because obviously you kind of grew up around the game, but you just talked about it, about how like basketball wasn't really the main sport. So, who basically introduced you guys to the game? And when did you guys first know? Okay, like, I kind of want to do this basketball thing.
Yeah, like I said, like I kind of just thrown in, like my dad signed me up for a camp and I did it. I definitely knew I was a little stubborn going into it. I was kind of shy, but yeah, I played all through grade school, and then I started like select ball and AAU
Okay.
kind of in middle school, and then I actually like didn't make the top team, and that kind of lit a fire underneath me ever since then. So I don't know, maybe it was like fourth or fifth grade, and I don't know, had a competitive edge to myself and wanted to be the best. So since then, I always worked hard. I always wanted to be on as many teams as I could and always wanted to be in a gym. And then in high school, I kind of was thrown into an AAU program in the middle of the summer. So like I hadn't practiced with them. So it was kind of like thrown into like that July circuit. Like it was insane.
Yeah.
I had no idea what college coach recruiting was or anything like that. I was like, this is insane that these people are at our games and all this stuff. So I definitely was a little naive, and especially since like none of my siblings went through that route, and neither did my parents. So we didn't really know much, but I had great coaches growing up that helped me through it. And yeah, just every year improved and got recruited, and now I'm here.
I would say obviously like my family, all my siblings, but so my dad has been my coach basically like not every single year of my life, but like dang near. So like when I was younger, he was my coach, not in middle school, but in high school he coached me and my little sister like all 4 years. So definitely my family, but like she said, her siblings, like her family, they didn't really know. I kind of knew just because of my siblings. So I would say like right when I was younger, my older sister got asked to play on. I played for SMAC, Swarmore Athletic Club, um, but when she got asked to play on an AU team, I remember I would always go to her practices, and they had like a third grade team or a fourth grade team, and I ended up playing on it, and that's kind of when I was like, okay, like this basketball thing's pretty serious. If I'm going to be traveling an hour, like every week for an AU practice,
Right.
so that's kind of when I knew like, okay, this is serious. And then just my siblings being so good, I always felt like I had to live up to that expectation. So like that kind of is what drove me to be where I am today.
Right. Obviously, both of you guys had very, decorated high school careers. You were at Bellevue, you were at Indian Hill. Obviously, when in high school, I mean, being Division One specifically, but I think anybody who's played college basketball, has had that feeling of being like the person at their high school or being in a position where they've done a lot of good things. So obviously, I'm sure it was a really good time. But at what moment did you guys know that, okay, I think I'm a pretty high level player. I think I'm someone who is worthy of getting recruited. Did that even happen while you were getting recruited? Was that something that you kind of learned through college or whatever? Like, what was the moment for you guys where you were like, okay, like, I think I'm actually pretty good?
I would say I kind of realized probably like really realized maybe like freshman, sophomore year, but I feel like I was always doubted because of being so short. So I feel like that was always something that lived in my mind. So kind of just like always trying to prove people wrong was like what made me like really want to be like, okay, I'm a 5'4" Division I basketball player. So like I feel like in high school that was like a constant thing, and that's when I like really like proved myself that I, like okay, I'm kind of good at this.
5'4".
5'3.5", if you want me to be exact.
Okay.
Oh man. I would say, like I said, like being thrown onto the AAU program, like I definitely had a lot of doubts. Like I was the scrub, if I'm being honest. I also was one of the younger girls, and I definitely doubted myself, but it prepared me for high school basketball. So that was like going into freshman year, and then going into freshman year, our varsity team only had like 6 girls. Like our basketball program was really small, and the next year it kept growing and growing after that, and I was kind of part of that, so that was really cool to see. But honestly, not until like my junior year, I kind of realized like, okay, I'm good enough for this, just because I doubted myself a lot, and I compared myself a lot. You can ask my mom. We had lots of talks, lots of cries about it. That's just something like that I battle with, but it's definitely a lot better. And so yeah, I would say junior year, like once I got a lot of attention with like recruiting, and I knew I wanted to do it, but I finally kind of saw it all fall into place, and I was like, okay, I am worthy of this.
Nice. So, at what point did you know it was going to be FGCU? Because obviously, 4 miles is a long way from Cincinnati. So, I'm sure there's probably schools you could have went that are probably closer to home. That would have kind of gave you a little bit of a better feel, being somebody who is growing up. So, what was it about for the Gulf Coast that made you say, I think this is where I need to go at 18 years old?
Yeah, it is far away from home. Well, it's kind of funny. FGCU is like the only Florida school that I had, like Southern school. All of my other schools were in Ohio or in the Northeast, and they're pretty high, like academics. Like I was a nerd.
Right.
And
Me too.
yeah. So like I thought I was always going to stay up in the Northeast. So when I took my visit, this campus did not feel like a college campus. Like Casey, you know, like the Midwest campus is totally different vibe. You know, Zay, like Columbia is totally different vibe. So I was a little thrown off by that, but I actually had a former AAU teammate who was older than me, so we never played together, but she came here and she was from Ohio and like just talked so highly of the program. The coaching staff felt like home, and I knew that they really cared about me. And also like being part of a winning program, like it doesn't matter like how much you play or how much you win or whatever, like they definitely instilled a standard of excellence within me. And I felt that when I stepped on campus. I knew that they're going to push me, but honestly, my first choice was Miami of Ohio. Like I went to call them, and this is when they had their old coaching staff, so hopefully this is all okay. But I went to call them to make my commitment, and they said no, that they gave my spot away to another girl.
Oh, wow.
So within 6 hours, I changed my decision to FGCU. But honestly, I knew I wanted to come to FGCU. I just was so afraid from moving far away from home.
Yeah.
You know that feeling. Yeah. So.
Right. And now you, Casey, you have a little bit of a different situation. You know, you obviously had 2 recruiting processes kind of, going to Kent State, and then of course, you know, going to FGCU. But talk about what it was like, you know, going out of high school. You decided to stay somewhere a little bit more, you know, close to home. What was the, you know, decision-making process in that?
Yeah. So I would say a lot of my interests were like MAC schools or the Horizon League schools. And I mean, I didn't have a ton by no means, but there's like a big tournament called Classic in the Country. It's a big tournament in Ohio. You know what it is, right, Matt? And like to get invited there was like a big deal. It still is a big deal. And that was a high school basketball tournament, and college coaches could come and watch. And so it was kind of nice. I was playing with my high school team. I mean, my AE team was really good. So obviously when you play with your high school team, it's obviously a little bit more about you. Right. And I had a really good like outing at that event, and that's kind of what sparked interest. That was my junior year for Kent State. And then I went on a visit, and you know, college visits when you're in high school, like it's like an all day thing, and they're kind of like, I don't know, it's like dilly-dallying around, just like showing you all the things. Yeah. And the first thing that happened when I walked in is they told me I had a full ride, and I was like, dang, okay, like this is a great start to the day. So, and then like when I left, I was like, dang, I think I kind of want to go here. And it was like 2 hours from my house, and I mean, we're both really close with our families, and so like her going that far away as a freshman is honestly insane, because like I could not do that. But like, yeah, like being close home to my family, and they were a pretty good school. I mean, they are historically like pretty good. I was like, like why would I not go here? So that was kind of my high school process. Did you say? You didn't say the next one too?
No, but go ahead. Speak about that too.
Okay. And then so I decided to leave Kent. I graduated at Kent in 3 years, with my undergrad in business, and I went into the portal, and like the experiences are like completely different for me. Right. I would say like, I mean, I had pretty good numbers at Kent, and I didn't know what to expect going into the portal, because the portal's insane now. And some people, like I did have people obviously say, oh, well, what if you get left in the portal? And I'm like, like, I don't know. And like I had a ton of interest, so it was like honestly like a complete like 360 compared to like high school. And I had it down to like here in Fairfield. And Fairfield's I never heard of Fairfield until I went into the portal, but like they're really good right now too. Okay. Coach Carly and Blake, like they're married and they're coaching together. So like it was a really tough decision, but ironically, my older sister visited here when she transferred from BG to Ohio State, and I came on her visit with her. So like I kind of obviously knew about FGCU, and then just like she said, the excellence, and Coach Smesko obviously like really knows his stuff, and why would you not want to learn from somebody who is like great at his job? Right. So, and also I feel like coming here, in a way, like you're an underdog compared to like the big like Power 5 schools. Right. Like we're good enough to compete with them on any day. So it's kind of like a cool experience in that sort of way, if you look at it that way too.
So what would you guys say was like the one thing that like really sold you on like FGCU versus like other schools? Or actually, no, I would rephrase that question. What was what was you guys' number one, like, you know, non-negotiable priority was like when you decided to go to college, like, okay, like I need to have this or I need to feel good about this specific area before I make my decision? It could have been in high school, it could have been in the portal.
I can only pick one thing.
Yes.
Do you know yours?
I think.
Pick two. Actually, I'll give you two.
You want me to go?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, think on that. Man, that was a long time ago. I would say like family atmosphere and community. Like you see at our games, it's a million second grandparents kind of like
Yeah,
in a way. And like you don't see that in women's basketball at all. And then also like the fact that the coaching staff, like this goes to family atmosphere, like the coaching staff, they're nearly all former players. Like that speaks a lot of volume because people have different experiences at college and with different college coaches. So like for them to want to come back says a lot. So and like the way that they treat people is amazing. So that's my answer.
Nice.
Maybe that was 3.
That was good.
I would agree. Just like the people is one, like coaches and teammates. I think teammates is a big one because you're with them every day, and if you're with people you don't like, it makes it a little bit miserable. But like she said, like all the coaches played here and stuff, so they know what they're doing when they're recruiting as well. And I feel like just people that are willing to push you and like winning, like make you a more well-rounded player and better person as well. So like how they coach and stuff.
Right. Nice. So that was good. Now you guys definitely played for, you know, Karl Smesko, legendary coach, especially around here. What was that experience like with him? Like you said, obviously walking into everything that he's built, he basically built FGCU from the ground up. And, you know, you kind of being somebody that he's bringing in to kind of continue that. You know, what was that like? Was that pressure? Was that, you know, any type of feel? Like, what was the emotion like around that? And then on the flip side of that, now playing for Coach Lyles, who is basically just a disciple of Smesko, honestly. Is it any different? If so, how so? If not, why not?
Okay. Well, I would say my experience is like playing for him has been unique because last year I got hurt, so I didn't technically get to play for him. So last year I got to, playing for him or just sitting on the bench while you're hurt, I was learning from him. But like a couple games that I did like get to play, but I obviously practice and all that stuff. He's a unique guy, and his mind's just like constantly ticking, I feel like, and he just has so many ideas, and it's just like brilliance, I feel like. And some of my favorite things would be when we'd be in film, which we have long film sessions, and he would just be like flaming WNBA players on what they're doing wrong. But it's not even on. It's like on the simplest things, honestly. But that's why he's so great, because like the simplest things are what make us excellent.
Right.
And then, so like obviously him leaving, that was really sad and unexpected, but he's onto something like great. That's amazing for him. Playing for Coach Lyles is great. It is different, just a man versus a woman, right, how they go about things. I would say, I don't know, it's different for sure, but like they do basically everything the same, but it's just more so a man versus a woman and like who they are as people.
Right, the temperament.
Yeah, so, but honestly, Maddie will have a great answer to this because she's been here for a while, so.
Okay, pressure's on. Yeah, been here a while, and like I think of Coach Smesko as like kind of like a father figure to me. He's seen me grow and he's pushed me in ways, and like I never thought that I would get to where I am, honestly, and it's because of him. But like Casey said, like he is a mastermind. He is just so interesting. Like he's a great person. He like really cares, and I think like what Casey was talking about, like the simplest things, like the attention to detail is just insane, and that's something I'm going to carry with like for the rest of my life. And it's just like such an awesome like skill to have, and not a lot of people have that. And I think being here, it's like taking a class of basketball. Like you learn so much, you learn so many different terminologies, and it like, yeah, I can never watch a basketball game without like enjoying it. Like I'm always analyzing it. And yeah, Coach Smesko is just great all around. And then with Coach Lyles, again, it's still great. It's a different energy in a good way, for sure. Like Casey said, like it's different when a male coach yells. And again, like Coach Smesko did not really raise his voice, and like Coach Lyles, it's not like she raises her voice, but like when you do make them upset, it's different. It's a different approach. And also being a female, like it's a different feeling, I guess. It's a little more emotionally charged. And then also I feel like everything is the same, concepts are the same. I will say, like, I feel like this team this year is really focused in on our defense. Yeah. And that's something that we pride ourselves in. And Coach Lyles has always been a defensive mindset. And like whenever like we would do breakdown drills, like she always takes the defensive side of things. And Coach Smesko is just like a mastermind offensively. So yeah.
That's what's up. I think another thing too I want to add, just by playing for different coaches, I think it is very important to understand, like, I guess a coach's, like, I don't want to say love language, but like, for lack of a better word, but like the way that they kind of can resonate with the player. I think it's super important that coaches can recognize that, and also players can recognize that, because I don't think you'd be here if you didn't feel like you were attracted to the way Smesko teaches, or maybe you wouldn't receive, Lyles coaching the same way if you didn't kind of understand how she coached. Same thing with you. You probably wouldn't be here if you couldn't resonate with that. So I always like hearing, different perspectives from players about, how their coaches are, because like you said, like everybody has a different experience, and everybody kind of interprets certain things differently because everybody's raised differently. So yeah, very insightful information. Another thing I would say, is very interesting as well. You guys came into college during a very pivotal time, COVID. And that itself was on top of just getting acclimated to college and all these different things. You guys are also in like a weird space where the world is not normal. So just kind of speak about how that affected, your freshman year, and how that kind of also shaped, your college career as well. Because it can go one or two ways. You can fall prey to the situation, or you can rise above it. So kind of just speak about how you guys were able to kind of, deal with that.
Yeah, I would say definitely a weird time. Getting tested literally all the time. Probably when I was at Kent, it was like 4-5 times a week.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I remember one of the seniors, it was our first game against Ohio State. One of the seniors had to get left at home because she had like a false positive the day before, and they didn't want to risk it. So like just like something like that's insane. I remember like my nose was, honestly, this is like TMI, but my nose was like raw from like testing so much. I would say then like outside of that, I was always in my dorm room. Luckily I had good teammates. Like I had a couple of close friends, but there was only one other freshman with me. So, I mean, we were good friends, but like she ended up transferring too. So like we weren't that close. So it was just kind of, I wouldn't say lonely, but definitely not what I expected my college experience to be like. I expected to like do fun things. And honestly, like I really didn't. At least the first 3 semesters, let's say 3 semesters, like high school. It's like breaking it up in quarters, 3 quarters out of 4. Yeah, but I mean, I was lucky. I could go home if I wanted to. That was like a really nice outlet for me my freshman year, just to be able to drive home if I wanted to. But then things started, obviously, in the world started to change a little bit towards the end of the year and lightening up. And I would say it started to become a little bit more normal freshman year. And then, you know how like we have to come in the summer. Going back that summer was like the actual college experience I expected college to be like. And I would say ever since then, like I've enjoyed it. It was just a really weird time that I didn't know what to expect. But ever since then, I would say college, outside of basketball, all the fun things that come with it have been great.
Well, I came in with 2 other freshmen, so I'm lucky that I had them with me because it was very isolating, especially being so far away from home. It was just a lot to handle. But luckily, Florida is Florida. Like, we weren't like super locked up. Like, there weren't any of these crazy rules or curfews or anything like that. And like, we were able to do things. Obviously, we were tested. We were careful. Smesko had us wear masks while we practiced. Yeah, it was rough. So like that was pretty annoying, and that kind of weighs on you a little bit mentally, whether you know it or not. But yeah, I really didn't know any other athletes besides my team and like maybe a few of men's basketball players. Luckily, our team got along really well and we were able to do a lot together. But I actually shut down the team my freshman year, and that's
You were a super spreader?
okay.
That's what they call them.
Okay, so oh my gosh. Anyways, I came home, or we went home for Christmas. Had to come back Christmas Day. Like I flew back Christmas morning, so that was like awful. We were all put in hotel rooms, and then that next morning we like came over to the arena and we did a rapid test, and then we all were in the clear. Okay, so then we have practice, and then we do another rapid test the next day. We're all in the clear. Then we do like the actual test. It takes like 2 days to come back, and then mine tested positive, and so did my roommates, but hers was a false positive.
Ooh,
and they put us in a quarantine dorm together.
Oh.
And it was pretty awful. I felt terrible. It's like whenever I think about it, I still like cringe. And
wait, so how did you shut the team down if it was just you two?
Because like we practiced and like we were in contact with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like that close contact thing. So like shut everyone down for like 10 days or something like that. Yeah, the vaccine wasn't a thing. And we were supposed to play like Liberty, which like back then when they were in the conference was our biggest rival, like on ESPNU, and it was like the first time in ASUN history or like something like that. And I was like, oh, yeah. So that I can't wait to tell my kids about that.
That happened to me too, actually, though, my freshman year.
Oh man.
But it wasn't like the whole team. But we didn't play though, so it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like crazy like that. But like I remember I came back from home, and I ended up testing when I got back. And it was like a big eerie thing. Like you would test, you would get your results, but if you got a phone call, then you would know.
That's when you knew.
Yeah. And I remember like I remember when I got back and I was sitting in my bed, but I just felt super hot. And I was just like, oh nah, like it's January, like there's no way it's hot outside. So I know something's gotta be up. So I kind of was happy that I got the call because I was like, at least I know what's going on.
Yeah.
But it was like once I got the call, like I had to evacuate. It was like some crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, they're like you literally have like 20 minutes and we'll meet you outside. Like I packed a suitcase and everything.
I was like, bruh. So they moved me to this clear dorm, like it was like a prison low key.
Yeah.
And then like I had to call all my teammates and tell them like, yo, like I just tested positive. And they're like, Zay, oh my gosh, because now everybody has to just chill.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I got stuff to do. I'm like, oh man. So I was also a super spreader too.
I've never heard that word.
But
so
that's what I used to call it, super spreader. And that used to be so crazy because bro. But in New York, at that time, bro, New York was locked down, but like we were still like doing what we were doing. Yeah. Like we were still kind of outside low key. So like we would get tested twice a week. And so you would be like outside and then take that test. But like 5 minutes before the test, you're like, please, because I know I was acting wicked. And then you get the negative, you're like, okay, cool. But once I got the positive, I was like, oh man. I think I ended up getting COVID like 3 times though.
Oh my gosh.
I never had it.
Ever?
No.
Not that you know of.
Not that I know.
So you was inside? No.
No, I just got the like strong immune system.
All right, bro. Anyway, COVID was crazy. you guys got to, how many games did you play? Did you guys play?
All of them.
Really?
I think we rescheduled those.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I don't think it was as many as like normal, but like I think it was like a few short because we weren't able to like schedule them.
Yeah.
But like our schedule was like we would play the same teams. Like let's say we're playing Stetson. We would play Stetson Saturday, Sunday. So we'd have to play them back to back.
So would you play at home and then at Stetson?
No.
Or would just both
At
be
home twice. Yeah.
Oh.
Or if you were there.
Correct.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun in a way.
Yeah.
And different.
Yeah.
So where would you guys try? So I'm assuming you guys would play all like the closer teams then, and then everybody that was like far, you'd only play them once.
Yeah.
Right?
Like Bellarmine, we chartered there, which like we don't charter.
Right.
So like that was like a really big deal. Yeah. And we played them back to back.
So would you guys not play like EKU while you were
They
there
weren't in
too?
our conference then.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Yeah.
they were OVC.
Yeah. Liberty played at us. I don't know.
Liberty
literally
wasn't.
feel so old right now trying to think of
Facts,
this.
bro.
But
Kennesaw was in the conference too, right?
yeah.
Because they were in the conference last
Yeah,
year.
and then our conference tournament was at Kennesaw. So like that was like the central location. And like all the teams went there for the tournament, and then we played there, and yeah.
So this is what I don't understand about people. They clearly see people talking, and you want to walk around with the flip-flops flapping, the keys rattling. Like, no,
Slow as hell.
you hear my man in the back with the piano. At least he's playing kind of quiet. But she had no, like, regard for nothing. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm sorry, Maddie. Go ahead.
It's okay. So yeah, conference tournament was at Kennesaw. All the teams were there. We all were in like separate hotels, and obviously like we won, but no home court advantage, no crowd.
Right.
It was weird. We had our little confetti and like little dance circle within our team, and that was about it. And then we bussed from Kennesaw back to FGCU.
How long was the ride?
Like 10 hours maybe, because there's a bus. And get this, guys. I'm not kidding. There were roaches on our bus.
Oh, my gosh,
this is the roach coach, okay?
The roach coach.
Yeah, that's what we called it. The coach bus, roach coach. And like they came out from underneath the vents, and we like we had like 3 or 4 hours left, and like had to stop and like yeah. So that's some fun memory.
So people had like a roach fine.
I mean, like few of them, like 2 girls had them on them.
Oh.
Yeah, and like I mean, we killed them or whatever, did our best, but yeah, we
killed them.
Yeah.
So you got to worry about killing roaches.
Killing roaches with and we're holding our ASUN tournament trophy. So.
Oh.
What a time.
What a time. Facts. What was that for you? Like, how many games you guys play?
I think like 18, so we were short. It's a 30-game season, right?
Right. So you guys had a lot of cancellations.
Yeah, and then we didn't have the tournament though. Or they did it differently where it's like only like the top 4 teams made it. It's like not everybody that normally would make it got to make it.
And
so
you guys are where?
I don't even remember.
But not top 4.
I think we were like right there. We were like normally we would have made it, but since they only took the top 4, we didn't make it. Yeah.
I've been there before.
Yeah.
As far as this year, you guys have been having a really good year. Kind of routine for FGCU though, but you guys have got to play in a lot of different places. New York, Canada. You know, what are those experiences like playing in those type of areas? What are some of the things you guys do that aren't basketball related to just kind of have fun and, you know, add some, you know, light to the situation? Because when you're on a road trip, it's all business. And so you don't really have the opportunity to really just kind of like detox and like do something fun. But when you go to New York, you see Times Square, you go to a Broadway show, you go to Canada. Some people see snow for the first time and, you know, all type of different things. So just kind of speak on what those experiences are like, especially this year.
Yeah. I guess that is like one of the best cool parts about basketball that you kind of take for granted sometimes, all the cool places you get to go. But New York, Canada was, I mean, we didn't really get to do anything like that fun there.
Oh, for real?
No, it was like an island, and I mean, honestly, it was we walked to a coffee shop. Maybe we do that all the time, but there wasn't a lot to do there. And it was an interesting place, kind of dreary. Yeah, that's how you say it, right? Dreary.
Yeah.
Dreary. Okay. But New York, that was awesome. That was my first time there. We got to go to Times Square and walk around, and then we went to this really good Italian restaurant. But
Carmine's?
yes, so that was really cool. Definitely a lot of people watching. And we got to watch a Broadway show, which Hell's Kitchen, which was really cool. So that was awesome.
Yeah, everything Casey said. I guess the coolest part about Canada was when we got to meet those little girls.
Oh yes.
It was just really interesting. Like, it's Prince Edward Island. Like, it's literally an island, and we're celebrities to them.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Like, it seemed like everybody was really excited to
Yeah.
see like college basketball.
Yes.
Especially women's basketball.
They said like when we were there, right, that basketball's not really like a big thing there, and they're trying to make it. Yeah, hockey
was big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like they're trying to like start it to So
Nice. That's what's up. What are you guys most excited about going forward? Obviously, you guys are blowing through the league. So, I mean, you guys have sights on something bigger than obviously a championship in the ASUN, even though that is kind of what the goal is. What's the mindset of the team right now? What's the temperament? How's everybody thinking about stuff? Obviously, it's a team full of new people who are in a very new position. A lot of people, this is really their first chance at really winning a championship of this magnitude, playing, as big of a role. Some people aren't playing as big as a role as they have played before. So where's the vibe at? How's everybody, taking the process and taking the season?
Well, I think honestly at this point in the season is kind of the point in the season where everyone's not tired, but it's just a long season and you're kind of like, oof, like ready for a little break. But that's kind of where you have to start even going a little bit harder. Because like you're either hitting your peak and you're getting better, or you're hitting your peak and you're getting worse. So I think our coaches kind of made that clear to us too. But I would say, we've had a couple rough days of practice here and there, but I think like the main thing is, like you said, yeah, we've won a lot and like something bigger, but we don't want no slip ups. We don't want no slip ups. We want to go undefeated in conference and win the tournament, and then obviously make a deep NCAA tournament run, but just finishing strong and not having no slip ups and getting better and better and not taking any steps backwards.
Now, Maddie, it's a little bit different for you. You've been injured, so you've kind of been, watching from afar. What's it been like for you, and like what do you see from the rest of the team, and what are you kind of where are you at personally?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not what I expected this year. It's been a little rough mentally and physically, but I agree with everything Casey said. Like, they're gonna do anything they can to keep us out of the tournament because we're FGCU, we're dangerous.
Right.
And I've had a lot of experience with the tournament, so just like continuing to, I guess, share my wisdom and my experience with the team, so it keeps everyone focused. And just because we beat a team by 30 points doesn't mean we're going to beat them by 30 points again.
Right.
And like Casey said, this is the point of the season where you get tired and you're either going to push through, or you get tired and you're going to settle. So just kind of being my role, I guess, would be more of like that player coach connection. So like, I know the system and I still provide my insights to the team, and I help the girls get focused, and all I can do is just like be encouraging, and while I go through what I'm going through, and just still being part of the team, keeping everyone locked in, and just making sure that we reach our goals and become the best that we can be.
Nice. What's life like outside of basketball? I feel like for me, that's always been a hard question for me to answer because I've always prioritized the sport so much. I feel like from my experience of just analyzing like women's basketball, or just women's sports in general, I feel like they do a better job of balancing life and the sport better than men do. So I'm always like very curious in knowing like what people do on their free time, because I've never really had like certain hobbies that I've like been able to kind of fall back on when it's a tough time or I just need to relax. I kind of developed that honestly over the last probably 12 to 18 months. So, what are some things you guys do to kind of just keep yourself at bay, keep yourself away from it enough to stay fresh? Um, and overall, just like how's life outside of hooping?
I guess the biggest thing is just to know that, like, for some people, basketball is only a sliver of your life in the grand scheme of things. And also knowing that your identity doesn't rest within your performance or who you are on the court. It's within Christ, and there's a lot more to life, and there's a lot of other things that you can enjoy. I guess for me, outside of sports, like my 4 years of undergrad, I was a bio and chem major. Like I was in the books.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And I also like would hang with friends. I'd hang with my boyfriend. I had him down here.
Right.
Family would come and visit. So I was pretty much a student athlete most of the time because we practiced 4 to 5 hours with treatment, all this stuff, then school for a few hours and homework. And then, so I didn't have that much time, but I guess now that like I'm in my master's program and it's not as rigorous as far as like going to class, I definitely have been able to enjoy like time with the girls. Like Casey's my roommate. It's been super fun. And just like exploring, like you just have to go out and do things.
Right.
And it's okay to do it by yourself too. Like you don't need people. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks of you. Like you can go out, do whatever you want. It is hard to find hobbies outside of basketball just because it kind of consumes your energy levels too.
Right.
So yeah, just like getting out in nature. I mean, we're lucky enough to live in Florida that just like hanging by the pool and reading a book is really nice, and going for walks. Like I'm sure.
You got that. Yeah, I totally agree with about everything she said about like finding your identity and who it's in, and it's in Christ. But I would say since I've came to Florida, I would say I'm outside a lot. I go to the pool a lot or go for walks or anything of that nature. Shopping, sunsets. I think that's one of my favorite things is watching the sunset. Just like gives you a sort of peace. And then usually on Sundays I go to Catholic Mass. So like that's something I love doing. It brings me a lot of peace. So yeah, so that's what I do in my free time a lot, or with my friends, obviously. Yeah. Or Seed the Table is a good one. That's a really fun place, like that they put me on to. So like if you go there, it's just like happiness, honestly. Right?
Let's see the table.
You never been?
What's that?
Like a giant grocery store, but there's like a restaurant inside of it, and like bars, and like they host a lot of events and stuff, and the vibe in there is just great.
Yeah.
And it's good food.
Great.
Oh, nice. Where's this?
North Naples, 20 minutes away.
Oh,
You should definitely go. Maybe
you been there, right?
Maybe not one.
Check her out. Check her out. Check her out. Anyway, wildin'. But no, that's what's up. You guys both mentioned, obviously, Christ and your faith. And I think that's something very important because I'm a very, very faith-based person, always have been. How has that been something that has kind of, helped you along the way too? And how has that developed over your time in college? There's a lot of sounds going on. But anyway, it's good though. We'll keep all of this hidden in here though. Pause. But yeah, how has your faith kind of developed over time and really helped you in these years of adulting?
Yeah. Casey mentioned Catholic Mass. I grew up Catholic, so I've always had a relationship with Christ. And in college, I was just able to like kind of be on my own. Like I didn't have anyone there to tell me what to do. So like FCA has helped a lot. It's a good community. And then also like with injuries, like that's where I go when I'm at my lowest. And then also just continuing to grow in my faith, that's where I go even when I'm at my highest. Like, and like I said, like being injured, like a huge part of your life is taken away from you, and it hurts. It's rough, but knowing like that your identity is within Christ and that he can perform miracles, and like, gosh, like there's just so much to say, but that's just, it brings me so much peace. And then also like it's taught me to learn or to live in the presence. Like it's not what you have to do tomorrow. Like God has a plan for you. And as cliche as that is, like all you have to do is just surrender yourself to him and fully trust what he has, and it brings you so much peace, and like beautiful things happen. So
Right, of course.
Yes, Catholic, like we said earlier. And I would just say, kind of like Maddie said, coming to college, you get to experience it on your own, not really like someone telling you what to do. And something I've found cool is the people you surround yourself with and finding more people like you.
Right.
And I would say coming here, like Maddie, it's been really cool. Like she's definitely helped me out a lot. Or just like having talks about it is cool. And I don't think that's something I ever did, honestly, when I was younger or in like high school. So that's something. And then obviously, even if you're a regular college student, just you go through seasons of life, and like there's a reason for the season, kind of like what I believe. And like God will put you through things and you might not understand why, but just like trusting him. And I've also found even during season when I'm like basketball season, when I'm like struggling or I'm just anxious or whatever, anytime I like give it to him, like I always end up feeling better. So I don't know, he's just amazing and he helps you with anything that you need. So yeah.
That was actually really good, well spoken. I like that. That was great.
Thanks.
That was great. If you could sum up your college experience, basketball, academics, social life, campus, whatever, if you could sum it all up in one word. Actually, you know what? I won't do that to you. If you could sum it up in one phrase, what would that phrase be? It could be a group of words. It could be a quote. It could be a saying. It could be whatever.
Okay, I don't really know how it's gonna flow off the tongue.
just spit it out.
I would say I'm blessed to live the life. All right.
Go.
I'm blessed to live the life that I live and have met the people that I've met.
That's good. That you're here for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And your inner circle matters. That was a run-on, but
That was good.
that's what I've learned.
I like that. That's what's up, guys. Well, I appreciate your time. Obviously, you guys have an early practice tomorrow, so I want to make sure I don't take up too much of your time. But I really appreciate you guys coming on. I think a lot of people can definitely take a lot from what you guys have said, from your experience, from the chase to excellence that you guys talk about, and being put in a situation that you may not have thought 5 years ago, 4 years ago that you would have been in. So, like I said, you guys keep doing your thing, and hopefully we both cut down some nests this year.
I like that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Day. Appreciate it.
Of course.
It was nice doing business with you.
Thank you. That's all we have for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's your boy Xavier McClain, aka Zay McClain, aka 3 Truey, and I'm out. Y'all have a blessed night.
Peace.